On the western shores of Faerun lies the city of Waterdeep, a place of business for many, opportunity for others, and called home by countless thousands, but all know it as the City of Splendors. Yay! Welcome, everyone.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Say it, say it. So, um, Roland will join us shortly, but we have Aldous, Harlow, and Donovan. And where we left off was in the yawning portal partying, and the snow piled up so high and the weather got so bad that all the rooms ended up getting taken. They didn't want to send people out into the cold if they didn't have the means to make sure they got home safely. So, including yourselves, you took up actually most of the second floor. And then there's a bunch of smaller rooms on the. Twyla, are you fussing or something with the? Oh, I heard a lot of fussing.
I see.
So you guys are staying the night, but throughout the night at the yawning portal, many is there anything you guys intended to do that night, or anyone you wanted to talk to, or there was just a bunch of carousing going on and everyone having fun, having their fill, drinking the night away? This was what the scene looked like.
I think for me, one thing that sort of stuck in my mind is I remember that Suki came to our table and was talking about different dreams that she was having. So I feel as though Aldous would kind of be fixating on something she mentioned about Bashaba?
Yes.
The sister of the goddess Timora. She mentioned that she heard her name spoken in this dream that she had one night, and I think Aldous, it seems like although he's kind of sequestered here in the yawning portal for that night, maybe he's thinking about this and is kind of that's dominating his thoughts overnight.
That's understandable.
Maybe he's thinking about the research that he's done before in Candlekeep relating to this goddess and Timora. So that's my thoughts. I don't know if that counts as researching or not.
No, that's awesome. So you're rolling those ideas around. While all the merrymaking's going on, you're rolling this very heavy subject. Not everyone would even know. In fact, Suki admittedly did not even know what that word meant.
Mm-hmm.
But you know there is a very heavy story behind that word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. I can see the look on his, the kind of maybe even a troubled look on his face, and he'll lose it once in a while, because he pays attention. He sees Donovan having fun, or these new people he met, and it grabs his attention from time to time. But then he remembers, wow, that was a very interesting thing to happen for someone to mention that.
Yeah,
So
and I think definitely Aldous is kind of wondering, like, oh, I'm kind of stumbling upon this circumstance, and I wonder, or at least it makes me reflect about my own predicament.
Very interesting. Well, she was speaking to Donovan when she said that. So I guess if you wanted to know anything about why she was speaking to that, maybe ask him. But
maybe I will do that actually. Maybe I'll turn to Donovan and say something to the fact of Bishaba. Does that mean anything to you, Donovan? Or why is Suki seem to be having these dreams?
She's certainly a quirky halfling. The first time she met me, she looked at me as if I had like I'd spilled her porridge. She was pretty upset, visibly upset even. It was the first time I'd ever met her, and then she was obviously not comfortable being around me. And then shortly after that, she suggested that I was cursed. Well, I promptly took care of that. That very morning, I went to a church not far from here. Not sure of which god. I've never been a religious individual. We didn't have much of that in the orphanages that I was unfortunate enough to find myself in, so I'm not sure. It sounds like you might know a little bit more about this Bishaba than I do.
Well, I do know a little bit in my readings at Candlekeep. I came across some texts referring to the mythology of this land, and from what I know, Bishaba was created during the Dawn Cataclysm. I think Aldous would be aware of that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that Bishaba
Any
was...
research that you picked up, you can feel free to apply to Aldous. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I know that Bishaba was sort of one half of an entity during the Dawn Cataclysm that was split in two. One was Bishaba, Lady Doom, and the other one was Timora, Lady Luck. So they are these sort of foundational deities, part of the mythology of Faerun.
Donovan's going to try and recall, because I stopped sort of, as I had said, the tieflings, she's a bit quirky. What exactly did she say to me about her?
Roll a wisdom check. Or anything that would help you recall the particulars of that.
Investigation?
Sure.
Oh.
She said she had one of those recurring dreams, and in a low booming, her voice actually changed.
Oh, right.
And she just heard one word. Bathsheba. But that's in addition to the past information she gave you. She said she was having these dreams of a child in the hands of possibly two parents, and darkness enshrouding them, and the darkness pushing the parents away, baubles falling amidst the puddles turning different colors, and the child then remained there floating in the balance as the parents fell away. And that's what you recall. And Donovan said, oh, well, you share that information with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Donovan says this to you, that he recalls this. There's been other instances where Suki so when Suki first saw Donovan, now I remember. When I first saw her, Donovan said, it triggered. She never knew there was any connection until she saw Donovan. And when she saw Donovan, she knew instinctually somehow that he was the child in this dream of hers. And what she explained the other night was that apparently tieflings, being of the nature that they are, the origins, the nature of their origins rather, tieflings aren't inherently evil, but there is something inherently evil to how they came about. And because of these infernal tendencies. Sometimes infernal beings will tap a tiefling. Actually, Suki said her friend Sorrow said it's not uncommon, actually, for infernal forces to tap them. For what purpose? It could be anything. Suki described what Sorrow said was that maybe my purpose was to just introduce you to someone or hold your attention for but a moment. And then those were instances that Sorrow gave Suki to say, it could just be that. Your dealings with this person could be done. And Suki explained it like, my friend Sorrow was trying to console me and said, don't worry. It's not yours to worry about. Probably his to worry about, really. Maybe you did him a favor. Maybe you saved his life. So he recalls all this stuff from that conversation with Suki the other night and tells you because you just asked him.
Yeah, and I mean, you think this is something I should be worried about? I mean, I went to the priest, I prayed, I think I even tithed. That should take care of this curse, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think
I tithe.
I think I would kind of make I would want to sort of calm Donovan's worries, but I think internally I'm a little bit worried because from what I know, Bathsheba is kind of an omen. It's kind of like not a good thing.
So now that you know more, it's even worse.
Yeah, but
so he's like, no, everything's cool.
What I'll communicate to Donovan is I'll be like, oh well, certainly if you visited a temple and tithed, if you received a blessing, I'm sure that you have nothing to worry about. I'm sure it's fine. And I think part of it is sort of wishful thinking on my part, because I may or may not have had some dealings with unsavory primordial forces in the past.
So Steve, roll a wisdom check real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, and Aldous, roll a charisma check, because we have the meta. Dude, you see him like, Aldous, what's your tell? Like, when you kind of half fib, does your eye wink a little bit, or do you start to sweat maybe a little on your brow? What is it?
Oh, I wonder. I think maybe my eyes sort of dart around a lot. You know, my eyes aren't able to focus. I went, is that a normal roll or advantage?
Yeah, you can take advantage. Good call.
Advantage. Oh.
Oh, good thing.
One was a 1, but
yeah, it was a good thing you rolled with advantage.
Donovan, you think he's being straight up with you? You thought he had a tell, right? You thought you had his poker face figured out for a minute there, and you're like, he's a good guy. He wouldn't steer me wrong.
All right. Well, I certainly feel better about that then, Aldous. Let's have another drink. Hey, is there anybody else around here that I should? I'm trying to think if there's anyone I should introduce you to. Is Davil here tonight?
You saw him. Yep, he was here at some point. But we'll wrap up any conversations after. So you party late into the night, and that actually consumed Aldous for the good part of the night. What consumed your attention, Harlow?
Basically, Harlow's just going back and forth between being a guinea pig, and she has Chungus with her. So she's just being a guinea pig. Does Harlow notice the conversation between Aldous and Donovan, or is she just...
You seem to be sticking by Donovan a lot, so if you want to pay attention to what Donovan's talking about, then yes.
Okay. So can Harlow kind of just crawl as a guinea pig between the two of them, trying to ease any weirdness? It's if
your mere presence eases weirdness, without a doubt.
A social lubricant.
You can do that. Yeah. I would caution to be careful. There's a lot of people in the pub that night, so getting stepped on is a real thing. But Donovan, you notice you notice a guinea pig on the floor next to you.
Oh no, I'm gonna scoop her up, put her on the table, dump some of the nuts out of the bowl on the table there, and feed her and Chungus.
Yay.
Hey.
All right, Chungus blows up to twice her size. She can't have nuts. No. Oh my god. Chungus rolled a death save. Sorry, that's no laughing matter. We've had so much of that in this game. No more of that.
Yeah,
in this
don't jinx it.
No more death saves.
All right, so
I will socially take the opportunity to introduce Aldous and Harlow to any of the other people that they haven't met. That any of the players that I know that might be here. They already met.
Okay. Here, we'll stay here for a second.
I just just so that they knew they could put names to a few people. Like, hey, these are.
Actually, I'm going to move the map along because now you're just recalling what has transpired over the night. But you guys took the party when a lot of people, when Durnan was like, okay, it's 3:00, time to wrap up. Then the group of people that know each other here, well, most of the people, went back to one of the rooms that was set aside. And he said there's 3 rooms for all these people. So, but you guys continued to finish the bottles of liquor, or at least I can speak for, I think Donovan, Floon, and Renair were definitely, and Roland. You notice Roland, it's like his number one thing he loves to do. He loves to drink. And you also notice that these 4 women are following him around a lot, like groupies. And you would have gleaned through the night that he apparently has some heroic status. Fought in some battle over her, but you didn't quite hear. Figured you might want to. You actually heard like 2 different versions of the story where he was like 7 feet tall. He's obviously not 7 feet tall. So you picked up like, all right, well, I heard several different stories. Maybe I should get it from him whenever, if the chance ever arises to talk to him one-on-one. But you noticed that about him. And so they grabbed the rest of the alcohol they were drinking and whatever else they were doing. They brought it back up to their room, and this group of people were hanging out. And then you guys can divvy up. You don't really see these guys stop partying. So you're going to have to basically like go to your room, and you can pick any of these rooms here. So whenever you want to go to your room for the night, just move your character over there. So yes, the people you would have met that night. There was a gentleman named Jalester Silvermane who acknowledged this adventuring parties. That's how a lot of people also are now referring to you guys as a group. In fact, you also heard someone say tonight, what do you call your adventuring party? What's your name? No, I don't mean your name. What's your party name? And like no one has an answer for that because it's really not a thing. They're kind of like making that up because they're filling in the gaps for, people love to hear about heroes, and stories are starting to get passed around about these guys being adventurers, and now they're just clumping you all into a group. But Jalester Silvermane had something very interesting to say, that maybe you should consider joining the Lord's Alliance. And he said it to Donovan. He said it to Aldous. And he explains... Let's see here. What does he explain? Unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. Well, someone says, what do you have to do to be a member of the Lord's Alliance? And Jalester says, well, to be a Waterdeepian citizen, first of all. And you should have allegiance to the city. But continues to explain, but Aldous doesn't even need an explanation. He knows what the Lord's Alliance is. It's a confederation of cities and towns up and down the Sword Coast and throughout the north, including, among others, Baldur's Gate, Mirabar, Mithril Hall, Neverwinter, Silvery Moon, they're all part of this Lord's Alliance. Members of the Alliance must come to one another's aid, he explains, in times of need. And he sees like Donovan's face glassing over, and like he starts just talking to Aldous, and he's like, "Hope I'm not boring you." He says to Aldous, "This is Jill Lester, Silvermane." Yeah, I pulled him up.
Oh, I don't see a picture of him.
Seems.
Oh, what did I do? Did I not bring it up?
Oh, is he the red hair guy?
Oh, he should be down here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Did he pop up?
No.
Not for me.
No.
Give it a second. That it should be. Wait, am I on the right screen? Oh, I have you guys upstairs. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't do it from one map to the other. So let me bring you back downstairs for these. I should have done that to begin with. Sorry.
It's okay.
Still learning the ins and outs of Roll20.
Hey.
Gillester Silvermane.
Okay.
Then he continues.
What's his position? And what is he?
Gillester Silvermane is well, I'm part of the Lord's Alliance, but I mean, you've known him to be around the Yawning Portal quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, is he a hero or a politician or?
He, you know that he hails from the distant land of Cormyr, where he earned his spurs working for a mercenary company called the Steel Shadows. A few years ago, Gillester left the Dales and traveled to Waterdeep with several other members of the company, one of whom, Farrell Dunblade, would become his best friend. So that's what you know. He's a earnest man in his mid-20s.
Okay. And
you, Donovan, you have gleaned in the past from conversations that he has kind of like similarly has a relationship with the Watch, kind of similar to that of Otto, where he's not part of the Watch, but they've trusted him enough to say, "Hey, help out."
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was like a union representative or if he's just affiliated with them.
Oh, yeah. So.
Ah.
Anyway, he's trying to, and he tells you, being part of the Lord's Alliance, you would never have to worry about the City Watch. Officials are notified that you guys are on official business for the Lord's Alliance, instructed to provide support whenever they can. I mean, this is pretty. He leans into. He's like, "This is a pretty big deal. Like, I'm not saying I know what's best for you, but I'm saying there's certainly an opportunity here."
That certainly that might explain a little bit about why Otto gets along so well with Captain Staggett. So it can kind of get you out of trouble then. What if you've been locked up a couple of times?
Well, that's what I'm saying, my friend. Why would you ever get locked up when you have friends in the City Watch? It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. Where do I sign up?
Good to hear it, Donovan. And now that you recall that he has mentioned this to you in the past, just in passing, you just apparently never listened. But he said, "I'm glad." He pats you on the back, raises his glass. "I'm glad we're having this talk. I thought you weren't interested, but this is great. This is a great turn of events, my friend."
Oh well,
he says, "That's not all. You know who Mert is, right? Old Mert." Well, anyway, if you're a member of the Lord's Alliance, he usually invites you over for dinner, and it's nice, very nice camaraderie, fellowship thing that goes on. Not only that, I would say that the most impressive thing that has happened to me being part of the Lord's Alliance is that I was granted a brief audience with Laurel Silverhand herself. It was amazing. Power just radiates from her. It was really, really nice to have sat down with her and got to talk to her about her love for the city and the things we're trying to do to better it for everyone. But anyway, good to hear it, my man.
Wait, we're all going to join. The entirety of the group. Otto, if he's not already in it. I'm sure Roland. There's. All right. What do we need a name or something? Do we need to be sponsored?
Yeah. Well, I'm sponsoring you, my friend. I'll certainly recommend. I mean, I don't know. He turns to Aldous. I mean, he certainly seems like a good man. So I invited him as well, and he looks over at Roland, who's like piss drunk and doing this right about. He's like, I mean, he's a hero. That's what I hear. So certainly. And this young, Harlow's not even there. I guess is she? You're holding the guinea pig, or she's sitting on the bar? I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, she's a hero too. She saved Roland, the hero from Trollgate, and gave him a good berry.
What about your friend Otto?
Of course. Well, he might actually already be a member, but if he isn't, I'm sure he'll be interested. He's worked closely with Captain Staggett.
I would know if he joined. Oh yes, I did see they were. So possibly he could be courting him to join the Grey Hands, which Donovan, you might have heard the term Grey Hands. Aldous, you definitely heard of it. Force Grey actually is what you is kind of like the lower level of the Grey Hands, and also involved with the City Watch, an individual. It's a lot of City Watch actually joined Force Grey, and they do like stuff that is kind of too secretive, or maybe in some instances too dangerous for the City Watch to do, and not necessarily too dangerous for them to perform, but maybe too dangerous for them to be known for performing. Mm-hmm. So they have maybe a strike force of adventurers that are willing to go in and do certain things when needed done. Anyways, and Gillester Silvermane is telling you what he thinks maybe Otto might be getting wrapped up in, and he explains, yeah, I would know it if he was part of that, but that makes perfect sense. Anyway, well, maybe he'll change his mind. He is part of your adventuring party, and what's the name of your adventuring party anyway?
I just joined. I wouldn't know.
We're working on that. We want it to be a mutual decision. Why will that help us? Having a name.
Oh no! I heard someone ask you earlier, and I didn't hear the answer. That's all.
You know what? You're right. We need a name. Something for the bards. Something catchy. Yes, we'll come up with a name. I'm going to put.
Good.
And he's happen upon it.
He's 10 times as happy as he was before you started talking to him, and but the conversation trails off. Someone pushes him out of the way and starts talking to you guys. Let's see, who else did you talk to that night? Well, of course
yeah, they did meet. We did meet Floon and.
Oh yeah, Floon. And he's like,
Renair.
How you doing tonight, guys? Picture a sexy voice. I can't do one of those, but he's like.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty sexy.
Funny. So he says that to you guys. These girls are all about Roland. That's
Roland's gonna have a good night.
This is Nance. This is Carol. And this is Teeny.
Wow.
They look serious. Roland's gonna he's gonna be in worse shape tomorrow than he is right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see particularly Teeny being acting just extremely amorous with Roland, and maybe even inappropriately, like, oh really, right here? But he, as far as I know, he's kept it at arm's length. I think that would probably be tested this evening when you guys retire. But let's see, who else is in the bar this evening? Oh, someone comes up to you, kind of like with his cloak pulled around his head, and invites you to join the Xanathar Guild. You know, you should join the Xanathar Guild.
Yeah, well, we're going to give that some thought. Thank you, sir.
What's your adventuring party's name?
We're working on that.
We don't have it.
We're working on it. Oh boy.
Yeah, we don't. After he walks away, I'll make sure to share with them. Like, I don't think we want to have anything to do with the Xanathar's guild.
Would I know of anything? You know, of the Xanathar Guild?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Should I
Destruct-
roll a check?
No, you know about the Xanathar Guild.
Yeah.
Destructive crime organization, not even like romantic. It's headed up by
Okay.
a monster is the head of this crime organization.
Okay.
And you can Google it. Any information you pull up on the Forgotten Realms, whatever, that, you know, because you've been studying
Yeah.
at Candlekeep Library, all of this, you've just been devouring this information, too much information.
Yeah.
So anything that would take like level 1 looking into, it's granted that Aldous knows it.
Yeah.
Probably most of level 2, and then like a bit of level 3 stuff he's probably got. So that's how I'll arrange it in terms of.
Okay.
But yeah, you know.
So I'll turn to Donovan and Harlow, and I'll say something like, I think we're better off without having dealings with them.
Agreed. They're. Yes, I agree. That would not be a wise association to make at this point in time.
Yeah, the Lord's Alliance is sounding a lot better.
Yes. Never having to see the inside of another jail cell. Yes. I like the sound of that. I wish you would have told me that from the beginning. Oh, yeah. I'd have joined months ago. He's been prattling on about that guild or group for a while now, and I've just ignored him. If Davil's there, I'll introduce him as well. And then if I get a second, I'm just going to tell him, hey, I got the money. If you want to start, if you can give me a list or maybe point some, if he has friends in any of the guild halls that are interested in assisting with the renovation of Troll Skull Manor, that now that he's been generous enough to provide us with the coin necessary to do that, we could do that.
Who are you addressing?
I'll say that to Davil if he turns up. If not, I that can wait until.
No, you would have seen him at some point. If you were looking for him, you would have seen him at some point in the night. So, so I'm sorry. What's it boiled down to? What were you asking of him?
Now that we have the money, if he has any suggestions or friends in any of the guilds that he wants to point in my direction, as far as if anybody owes him favors or he owes anybody else favors as far as business, in return for giving us the loan to get things started there, I would, look to do business with guilds or masons, plumbers, dung sweepers, whoever he has contacts with.
Yeah, I'll tell him. I'll put the word out. You'll have them knocking at your door. No problem, my man. Probably not tomorrow because any gestures outside, the snow is just piling up. So, but yes, over the coming days, expect a steady stream of guild representatives to address your refurbishing of Troll Skull Manor. No problem. We'll take care of it.
Perfect. Thank you. And and if you know anybody that could help me school me, I mean, I've seen it used before, but I'll flash the pistol at him from inside my belt, like pull my cloak away and just use a bit of training with this. If you know of anybody that has experience with one of these items and you'd be kind enough to point me in their direction, I'll certainly pay for a bit of tutoring.
Oh, yeah. And he's surprised. You can see he is has a look of surprise on his face when he sees you flash that pistol. He says it's a drow weapon. Very advanced. Yeah, certainly. We can I'll find someone to train you on that. You might want to look into where to look at in Troll Skull Alley. There's a place called Steam and Steel. Might be able to help you make shot for that thing, because that'll be hard to come by as well.
Yes, shot, smoke powder. I know there's a few importers, some expensive ones, but I know there's one located not far from the boot shop that I took Roland to the other day that has a reputation for being able to import all sorts of strange things. Of course, you pay top dollar for them, but certain things are worth the money. So thanks again. Appreciate your help as always. You'll be among the guests of honor if we ever get around to opening the place up.
Well, I might have something for you to do in the morning. I'll know in a little bit. If so, you'll see me first thing in the morning.
I'll look. Is it a job for maybe more than one?
That's up to you.
Right then, that's a yes. Thank you. You'll find me. I'll be in one of the rooms.
Point, though, you need to managing your friends is your job. I can't. I've been following. I don't know about the new guy, but I did have my people follow. Who is it? That Aldo character, and Callista, the mage.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be giving us any issues.
No, they don't seem like they're a problem. But again, it's for you to manage it. Unless they're under my wing, they're for you to manage. But feel free to bring them on with you wherever you go. It's safety in numbers. You know how to manage things. I have faith in you, Donovan.
I'll sort of chime in and sorry, Donovan.
No, go ahead.
I'll sort of chime in and sort of overcompensate for myself and say something like, as far as I'm concerned, you have nothing to worry about. I have no secrets at all. I'm assuming by this point I'm already pretty sloshed. So
okay. Yeah,
that's
so you're
probably
standing,
why I'm free enough to say that.
If you notice, you're standing at the... Dable is at this table here, and Donovan's standing in the doorway, like sitting at a chair or standing over a chair right here, and Aldous and Harlow are in the entranceway of this curtained off area. And Aldous chimes in. All right, so then I don't really have anything else that I would have, unless you guys have specific questions.
No, I'll take Aldous unless they have something they want to do. I'll show Aldous and Harlow. Harlow stayed here last night, though, didn't you, Harlow?
Yeah. You think I stayed in like your drawer or something?
Yeah. Like pulled open one of the sock drawer and had you
make a little bed.
Yep. Yeah, we'll do. Pretty much. We have these 4 rooms available, right?
3 of them. Yeah.
3 of them.
Including the one we're in right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone wants to go right to bed, put yourself in a...
I feel like I would probably go right to bed. I've been through a lot. I just arrived at the city earlier that day, so I'm probably quite tired, and after drinking all that.
So Roland said he notices you're like swaying and looking at the bed, and Roland says, "Oh, go! There's 2 other rooms here for us. Go pick a room."
So I think I'll kind of stumble over to this room here, and I'll just collapse in bed. And I'm sure my dreams are very subsumed by the name Bathsheba.
Of course. How could they not be?
Shit.
All right, so the night goes on. Renair starts like roughhousing with Donovan. It gives him a shot in the arm, and he braces himself like, don't hit me too hard. You hit him?
Yeah, I'll hit him back. I should have left you under the stairs inside that warehouse. He got to ride the Griffins too, didn't he?
Yep, both of them.
Assholes.
And then Lou's jumping up and down on the bed, and then these five individuals take their leave eventually as morning comes.
Keep it down over there.
I'm glad I'm not the neighbor.
Renair lays down on the floor eventually, and
I'll pull a little drawer open right here for Harlow in the nightstand.
Harlow can jump in the drawer.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll get some rest, some much needed rest.
Sounds good.
All right, so you at some point in the wee hours of the morning, you hear a ruckus coming from where Roland's room is, and you hear one of the girls saying something about he's having bad dreams or something, but then you fall asleep. You just heard it in the middle of the night. But Donovan, you are woken up by a rat-a-tat-tat on the door, and you recognize it, but you're not quite sure you're coming out of a sleep. That's how Dable knocks.
Oh, shit. I'll get up, put one arm in my shirt, and quietly, tiptoe over to the door there and open it up.
And Dable Starsong is standing in front of you. And it's still dark out. It's still wee hours of the morning. Probably just 2 hours went by since you laid down. And
What do you
he
need?
says, all right, so here's the deal. A friend of ours named Schemo runs a small shop in the trade ward. You know what? Why don't you come out here? And he motions towards the tables. Put yourself together. Come out here. We'll talk out here.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll finish putting on my shirt, slide one boot on, and hop quietly out the door, putting on my other boot. And then where did he go?
He's sitting at a table right outside. And you see Bonnie is out there bringing breakfast, already serving. And it looks like she brought enough for 3 or 4 people, actually.
Oh.
And she's putting food on the table. And as soon as you show up, Dable gets right back into what he was saying. Anyway.
So you were saying he has a shop, friend of yours?
My friend Schemo runs a small shop in the trade ward. He's made some potions of mind reading for a client. Bastard's lazy. Doesn't want to deliver them himself. And the client is shy. I want you to head over to his shop, pick up the potions, and deliver them to the client safely. There'll be a tip for you.
Huh. So I'm guessing because you're asking me, this isn't something just it would be entrusted to any old courier or something.
That's correct.
Is that because of the client or because of the package?
It's because of the client and the package and Schemo. It's just all very sensitive. Like I said, I told him to do. That's why I wasn't sure earlier.
Schemo, a friend of yours?
Something he should have done, frankly. So, but what can I say? He's my.
You told me about him before, I think.
Yeah.
All right. yeah, well, there's lots of food left here. I think I'm gonna bring along a couple of my friends just to make sure that if we run into, I've learned enough over the past couple of weeks that it's probably not a good idea for me to go anywhere without someone to cover my back. So I'm gonna rouse a couple of my more trustworthy allies and feed them, and then we're off. What's the name of his shop?
Weird Bottles Concoctions. It's in the trades board.
Ooh, is it in my Waterdeep?
No, probably not.
Okay.
You mean in the second edition source book?
Mm-hmm.
No, I got it.
And it's in the trades ward. All right.
I'm sure you can take care of it. And he stands up, drinks down a little bit of the rest of his coffee, and thank you.
Oh, thank you for everything you've done. It's much appreciated. Yeah, you're making my dream of Troll Skull Manor a reality. So, hey, do I look okay to you?
What do you mean?
Somebody was saying some shit about me being cursed or something. I mean,
yeah. Drinking a lot. Yeah, that's right.
That's all it is. I'll make sure it gets taken.
Well, you do have like a greenish hue to your complexion.
You're funny. We'll make sure it gets taken care of right away, right after breakfast, as a matter of fact.
You're the man, Donovan. Thank you. And he takes his leave.
I will rouse. I know that Roland was beat up, so I'll sneak back into my room and grab Harlow out of the sock drawer, and then lightly rap on Aldis's door.
I think even from the lightest rap on the door, I sort of shoot right up from bed. My eyes like widened. I've definitely been lurched out of my sleep. I can't remember what I was dreaming about, but it was not anything good. And I quickly get up and answer the door to Donovan.
He's all wide-eyed, like.
And I'm wearing the same clothes. You know, I just conked out. You know, I didn't change or anything.
Hey, listen, Aldous, sorry to wake you up, but a friend of mine asked me for a favor, and well, breakfast is ready. If you're able to help me out, Harlow and I are going to be. I'll look at Harlow like I didn't even ask her yet, but after breakfast, I have to run an errand. There's coin in it if your pockets are empty.
Coin does sound good at this moment, especially if I can't rely on my parents.
Yeah, well.
And I can't rely on the acolytes of Candlekeep anymore. I'm in.
Great. Right outside the hall here. We'll be waiting, having breakfast before we head out.
And I'll make my way out to the hall.
You said Dave left, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you said
I pulled Harlow out there.
So my friend Dave, who you met last night, the elven fellow in the private booth downstairs, he's been a friend of mine for a while, and he's been quite generous with assisting me with Troll Skull, so sort of indebted to him. He offered to pay me to courier a valuable package from an alchemist in the trades ward to a client. I'm assuming that Schemo is going to have the location where these potions need to go.
You would assume so, yes.
So this alchemist is Schemo, and actually Davos told me about him in the past. He might be valuable for us down the road. This alchemist apparently is willing to sell to friends of Davil. So if we ever find ourselves in a position of needing some potions, this might be a valuable contact to make. So Davil said he would tip us equal share of whatever he tips. Of course, goes to each of you, and then we deliver the potions to the person, and then well, then all's right. We come back hopefully before lunch, take a nap, split up the money, and well, I'm sure you're going to want to see your folks at some point, Aldous, and I don't know what you're going to want to do, Harlow. Is there anything you want to do today?
No.
Oh, I forgot. He gave you. Dave also gave you for what you did in the. You get 1 renown, by the way. 1 renown point and 50 gold pieces for. And he left 50 gold pieces for Harlow as well.
50 gold pieces for what?
Your involvement for solving the murder mystery.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What was his concern with that?
Well, I think it's a world where you know it's a world where you scratch one organization's back and they scratch your back. He had mentioned that the town watch was having a hard time dealing with it.
I forgot he is an elf as well,
and he's sensitive to the subject as well. So that might have been the tipping point. He's not going to let a pattern of elves getting murdered go on if he has anything to say about it. So that's why he involved you.
So he gave the money to me. Is it 50 a piece or he split it up?
Yeah, not 50 a piece.
So 50 dragons to me, Harlow, and he left a bag for Roland.
Yeah.
I'll take 25 of it and count it out on the table and slide 25 over towards Aldous.
All right, I got a potty. You can if you can take 5, or I'll just be right back.
I'm going to do the same thing. So why don't we take 5?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
All right, so our unnamed adventuring party takes to the snow-covered streets, and the heavy snow stopped falling for the most part, but it has gathered in an unprecedented way. You don't recall the last snow this heavy. You already see certain city officials, even city guard clearing certain the large street out in front of you just to make way so they could get a cart through, but not much more than just digging out the size of a cart. And they are working. A lot of city workers are doing that right now as you step outside the yawning portal. And it's difficult going. It'll slow your pace, and there's no real carriages. There's not like a dray running right now. They would have to clear up some of this snow. So you're realizing right now you're going to have to walk this. And which way are you going to take to get to the trades ward?
I'm guessing Snail Street out to Snail, and then that'll probably be the most wide open all the way past Waterdeep Way. And you said it was on Spoils Alley.
So you make your way south. It's actually beautiful out here. The snow is glistening. There's a little bit of sunlight poking through. It keeps getting threatened by the dark clouds will cover it up, but then you'll see a little more sunlight. But regardless, it's beautiful. It's clinging to all the buildings. Not the usual foot traffic you would find, especially right outside of the yawning portal. It's usually busy all night. But and it's just slow going. and you make your way.
You said it's morning now. I mean, there's enough early morning light. Is the sun risen?
It's barely. It's just peeking over the horizon, and its occasional ray is glistening off the snow-covered buildings. And you make your way to the trades ward. And you know spoils. I mean, you have to think about it for a little bit. But you see, you end up taking down to the high road. It's the best bet because some of these main roads have been cleared, at least a little bit. That way you don't have to trudge knee high through most of this. And Donovan, you could have probably ducked through some of these side streets and cut off some time, but it would have been.
Oh, okay. I see where we're at. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll stick to the main road. I'm not looking to tramps. I'm not a Northman. I'm trying to keep too much snow from getting in my boots. I will I will wear my armor, and I'll recommend to the others to be prepared. It seems like every time we go on one of these simple tasks, things tend to get more complicated than I expect. So
I'll put the hood of my scholar's cloak up now that we're in the cold, and I'll sort of be sure to wrap myself. I'm following Donovan's lead because from what I gather, I'm probably not too familiar with this southern part of the city. I'm more familiar with my hometown, like north of the market area.
Yep. And even that, it's been a couple years, but
Yeah.
I don't know how worldly of a guy you were in the city back then. You were pretty young, but Trades Ward probably wasn't your stomping grounds.
Yeah, I would think so.
So as you make your way into the Trades Ward, of all the wards in Waterdeep, this ward has the least community feel. You certainly can't tell by walking through the streets where it ends and South Ward or Dock Ward begins. Trade Ward is almost entirely given over to commerce. Middle-class workers and merchants dwell and ply their trades there. Donovan and Aldous certainly know this. Harlow is a little aloof to such societal things. The ward wraps around most of the City of the Dead, running out from along its walls on Andamar Street to the high road, down that broad street to Snail Street, and down Snail Street to Chester Street, where it turns east. And you find yourself on the street you believe you're supposed to be arriving at. Spoils Alley. If everyone hasn't located on the map, it's right here. And I think I have a marker there. Donovan points it out right there. That's where we need to go. So any particulars are about your approach? There's not, I mean, you can't really hide.
No, but I will pay attention to the area around just to see if there's anybody that looks out of place that may be casing the establishment or watching the Weird Bottles shop.
Okay, so you'll spend maybe a minute or two standing down the block looking at it.
Yep. Yeah, just to see if yeah, and if there's anybody. I'll start top to bottom, anybody along the roofs, which I would doubt in this weather. I'll look for any open windows, which might be out of the norm considering the weather, and then to see if there's anybody just sort of lurking around Spoils Alley.
And you spend that time, you see nothing, you hear the crackle of ice. It's actually, when you get back into the alley now, it's dark because with the sun just coming over, you have to kind of be out in one of the larger, where there's more space in between the buildings. Back here, there's hardly any space between the buildings, and the light is not penetrating, so it's a little dark back here.
And this is kind of like this is like a no outlet kind of alleyway, right? There's only one way in, so
Yeah.
And if you scroll left,
ooh, look at that map. Fancy.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, you gotta scroll.
well, I might have to give him vision. Let me make sure I gave him vision.
I can't see anything either.
No, it's just me. You got to give them vision too.
I didn't even think I had that one.
I'm blind.
Good job, Dad.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, Aldous.
Okay, there we go.
Now.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And let's see.
Yeah, you can see stuff.
Can you see stuff? Let me just click on your things. Okay, I see what you see now. And you're at the door.
Wow.
It's kind of early, so I guess instead of just walking in, I guess we should knock. I'll look at Aldous and Harlow and kind of shrug it doesn't look like it's open yet, right? This is pretty early in the morning.
Right.
No, it doesn't look
It's
like
the
it.
ground floor of a small 2-story building. You look in the window and you see a single square room lined with shelves carrying vials in varying sizes. You see other jars and stuff. Looks like maybe individual ingredients for sale. Can't really tell from here, but that's what it looks like.
I'm gonna try the door and see if it's unlocked.
Door is unlocked.
He's probably waiting for us. I'm sure he's expecting us. It's cold out here. Let's let ourselves in.
I'm sure you're right.
I'll crack the door and just enough for each of us to slip through and step inside, eyeballing the shop area here to see if there's anybody around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll follow Donovan.
And then as soon as Harlow and Aldous are through, I'll close the door again.
All right, and stepping right into view is this guy.
Ooh.
Donovan.
Schemo, I was told you'd be expecting us. Cold outside.
And he turns around immediately as soon as you start talking and says, "Shut the door behind you." And he starts mumbling. "You see who's Davil's sending me? My old friend. Oh, how far we've fallen." He walks away from you.
I'll follow him. And eyeball the shop, look around. Does it look like we're the first people to come in here?
And yes,
Okay.
without a doubt. He's completely dry.
Wait, where's Harlow?
Trying to move, I'm kind of stuck.
Oh no.
Okay. I was like, wait a second.
I
And
was playing in the snow.
Yeah.
Schemo snaps his fingers, and and the lights pop on.
Oh.
Fancy.
Fancy.
So, thanks for doing me the favor.
Yeah, I heard you were busy.
Yeah, busy.
What are you so busy with that you can't help out our old friend Davil?
I've got this place to run. I'm making things for clients, as you could imagine.
Yeah. Anything I might be helpful to us? You know, we've nearly been killed now several times in the past week. Oh, by the way, Schemo, this is Aldous and Harlow. They're friends.
I put my hand out very eagerly. Aldous Blackwell, pleasure to meet you. Very much looking forward to helping you with this endeavor here.
And he looks at your hand, looks at your face. Says, yeah, well, pleasure to meet you. And he does not shake your hand.
I bring my hand back and I do one of these things with my hair, sort of nonchalantly.
Well, you'll have to do, he says. You recruits. You'll deliver these potions to a lady in a purple cloak near the Godcatcher statue in the castle wall. Careful now, they're worth more coin than you lot probably have ever seen. The gnome says. He's a gnome, by the way. Everyone, he looks odd. He's shorter. You might think he's just like a short human at first, but after close inspection, you see he's a gnome.
He's got those pointy ears too. Yeah, he doesn't have the sort of round, sort of garden gnome look to him. He's more like a thin kind of, more unpleasant looking. He's like an evil gnome. Although his shop looks like, I don't know if any of this stuff would be of interest to Harlow or Aldous, because in addition to potions, it looks like he's probably got components and shit in here.
Oh, yeah, I got all sorts of components. Help yourself, by the way. Just show me what you take.
Oh.
Well, that's very generous of you.
Well, you're Davil's crew, aren't you?
Yes, we are. That we are, sir. That we are. Woman, purple cloak, Godcatcher statue. I found myself and a friend of mine both ran afoul of both poisoned in separate incidents. Nearly killed us both in separate incidents. You got anything perhaps that might be able to avoid making the third time happen? Something?
What do you mean?
Something that would perhaps counteract the effects of a poison.
I mean, I could work on something for you. No, it's not something I've been. It's more of an herbalist thing, isn't it? I don't know. I'll look into it for you for sure. I don't have anything on hand. I certainly have the components if you know how to do it.
I had trouble getting my boots on this morning, so I don't think I'll be able to help you with that. But
how about you? And he eyes up Harlow. You're a cute one.
Harlow smiles and she nods because she can't actually. She knows a spell on how to save folks from being poisoned, but other than that, she just smiles and nods.
She's single too, I'll say to Schemo.
So, Harlow actually has a look in her eye like she's got something up her sleeve. She doesn't cower to that kind of rude talk. And let's see here. So you're looking around the shop. You see a whole lot of stuff. There's nothing labeled health potion or flying potion, but you can get potions here. Davil told you could get potions from this guy. So if there was anything specific you were looking for,
like healing potions and stuff.
Yeah, I got one of those. You need it?
Well, yeah. If you put it on Davil's tab, I'll smile.
I'll take one.
First one's completely free. Second potion you choose, I'll charge you 10 GP.
Well, I'll just take one then.
All right, give me a minute. He goes in the back.
When he goes in the back, I'll ask Aldous
Make
and
yourself
Harlow.
comfortable. Get ready for the trek. It's looks cold out there.
Is there
And he
anything?
kind of smiles when he says it looks cold out there.
Yeah, that's why he sent us, because he doesn't want to go out in the cold. Plus, he's a gnome, so if you need to be carried, Harlow, you can just turn into a guinea pig, and I'll plop you in a pouch at my side. Is there anything either of you guys need as far as components that you might be able to find here?
Yeah, look for your spells. If you need components, then if you haven't bought them, now you don't even have to pay for them. He's offering you stuff for free.
Cool.
Right. I'll sort of peruse the shelves back here.
Seems.
I'll wait for him to come back. Oh, I am going to hand, because Harlow got 50 GP. Aldous, even though he wasn't there, they're like, look, if you're going to be, I know that this first time's free and everything, but if you're going to be traveling with us, at least for the time being, I'd like to make sure you're properly outfitted for everything you might need, especially if your parents can't take care of I'm not sure exactly how much a bookmaking or a book sales business does these days, but I'm going to give him 25 gold coins of the 50 that was given to me. Consider this a down payment on your continued services, and perhaps.
I'll sort of before taking it, I'll ask Donovan, "Are you sure?"
It is a lot of money.
Look,
Butter you up.
we just met, and you seem like a nice fellow and all, but I'd like to be sure of, as sure as I can be, of the folk around me, as far as, that they can be trusted. And I found that, when you're paying someone for a job, they tend to do a better job than when you're asking them to do it for free. So,
Roll an intelligence check, Aldous.
Intelligence.
Yeah, just click on it.
Okay.
Or investigation, actually, if you have that.
Okay.
Insight.
Yeah.
Actually, insight, probably better.
Insight. Well, not as good as at insight, but I'll do insight.
Oh, you can choose which one. It's fine.
I'm gonna do
Nothing
insight
critical.
because I'm chaotic. Oh.
You think, that's a lot of money. You think you might be trying to pull something over on you. You don't know.
Yeah. I think maybe against my better judgment, I will take it. Because I'm kind of in a hard position right now.
Nice.
little broke.
Funny how it
Yeah.
worked out that way, isn't it?
I don't want to move in with my parents as much as I love them. I haven't seen them in a while. Things might be different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like he's offering a lot of opportunity. You can go back home and say, I got a place to stay. I'm gainfully employed because
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you
I mean-
money.
That is, if you're willing to work with me.
Oh, I won't let you down.
Alright.
I assure you of that.
Good.
And seriously, what did you give him? 25 gold?
Yeah,
Like, that's a lot of money.
that's 2 years' wages for like a,
Yeah.
for like
He
a.
just paid you for a year. If you just wanted to be
Is
a
it
common
really?
man, yeah.
Oh god. I sort of as I turn away, I sort of like do one of these expressions to myself. I'm holding the goal. I'm like as a sort of like hidden away in this aisle here. I've really never seen that much gold in my
Thumbing
life.
through it, like looking through it. Wow, 20, 22, 23, 25 gold. Wow.
Don't spend it all in one place. I'm like,
Can Harlow
yeah.
give him gold too, just because she saw Donovan do it?
Yeah.
So but can she just wait? Aldous, you're wearing a cloak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can Harlow just pull on your cloak and just here's something?
Yeah. I won't say no.
So yeah, Harlow pulls on your cloak and just gives you 5 gold pieces. She doesn't say anything. She
Aw.
just sticks her hand out
I'll sort of I'll turn around and bend down and graciously take it. Not much else is exchanged except a smile.
Check out your nice friends giving you all this.
Friends.
So nice, so nice. Here, I was going to grab a picture of Steve put together of.
Yeah, Ken. Donovan's loyalty's always been bought by people, so
Yeah.
that's kind of what he understands. At least until he gets to know everybody.
Yeah.
I know money always bought Donovan's loyalty in the past, so. Although I'm starting to see that there's people.
So Harlow, this.
Oh, come on, that's awesome, Harlow. Look, she's even got a little bit of greenish tint to her face.
Mm-hmm.
I picture her holding the guinea pig in her hand, but obviously looks. Maybe it's a magical guinea pig. Well, they are magical, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Harlow would say they're magical, I'm sure.
I'll throw a
Just
guinea
wanted
pig
to
in
show you
there
that cool picture
Yeah, I love it.
Steve put together for her.
So,
All right. So he comes back out from behind this counter here. Actually stands at the counter. He doesn't even come up to you. And he puts well, here it is. Did you find anything on the shelves you need?
I don't really, to be honest, I don't know what to look for.
You would read the spell description and it'll tell you if here, let's go through.
I don't think I need anything.
All right.
You might not with your
Mm-hmm.
spells. You may not need.
I wonder, are there any like trinkets or something that would be helpful?
Eldritch Blast doesn't need one. True Strike.
There are trinkets. There's a whole like a bin of like odd trinkets. There's like a shrivel. It looks like a freeze dried a small hand. Some marbles that look like eyeballs. Little bags of who knows what. You'd have to untie them and look inside them. All sorts of stuff on these shelves.
Maybe I'll pick up the little hand and I'll sort of turn over to Schemo and I'll say, "What does this do?"
It's a spell component of some sort. I don't even recall. It's been sitting there so long.
You could use a small amount of soot and salt, two separate things. But the only spell you have that uses any components, material components, is
third aisle.
Comprehend languages. So you need a pinch of soot and a pinch of salt. But
down aisle 3 there.
Okay, well maybe I'll grab those two things because I would know that.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Thanks,
So.
Donovan.
What aisle did you say that was in, Schemo?
Third aisle, third row.
This aisle?
Yeah.
And I'll bring it up and then I'll bring it back to Schemo at the counter. And I'll say this, I think I'm all set.
So he nods at you. And he has a silk-lined coffer already opened, and he turns it around. You see the lid open, and it contains 4 potions.
Okay.
No, my friend. I don't need to tell them to keep their hands off the merchandise. Surely they value their lives more than that.
So what? All 4 of
himself.
Are all 4 of these for the woman? And the potion is one of them the potion of healing for Aldous?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that was separate.
Okay.
Yeah, push that up separate, and this is
Okay.
This is in its own case.
Okay.
And he continues to act rude and arrogant, but he has these little moments where you can tell he's trying to show you respect, but he just doesn't have it in him.
Don't take anything he says personally. He's kind of a strange bird. But but this place could come in handy at a later date, so.
Duly noted.
Can we expect that she's going to be paying us, or has this already been paid for?
No, she will give you something.
And where does that go? Back to Dabble?
No, that would be for you.
Oh. All right, then. So, simple and matter enough. Deliver to the woman in the purple cloak next to the Godcatcher statue. I think I've seen it before. And then she'll pay us, and Bob's your uncle.
Seems simple enough.
All right, well, stay as long as you like. And he snaps his fingers. And the lights go back out.
Stay as long as you like, but get the hell out. Gotcha, Schema. Schema, thank you. Thank you for this. Stay warm.
Oh, I will. You too.
Funny. I'll lead the group back out into the street there. Might as well get this over with before we all get frostbite.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I'll gather my little bag of soot and salt and my healing potion and put it into my pocket without a word and just follow Donovan outside.
nice.
Oh, I guess I'm carrying this. You said it was what did you describe it as? A chalice?
No.
A coffer?
A coffer. That's it.
It is a silk-lined coffer containing 4 potions.
How big is it?
Okay.
Like a large cigar box kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Donovan's carrying that.
Yeah, and I'll offer to give Harlow a piggyback where she can jump, so because she's only like 2.5 feet tall, so the snow's probably up to her neck, so she can hop in the in my ammo pouch with. I am gonna keep that pistol loaded, even though that I'm not real able to use it proficiently. If I use it, would I be able to just use it like with disadvantage until I get a proficiency or something like that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I'll do that. I'll tuck her guinea pig self into the pouch to keep her from getting froze to death, and then shoulder to shoulder with Aldos, we'll head out towards the Godcatcher statue, which I seem to remember seeing before. Ooh, there's the Tower of Luck. Ooh. I know what that is. The House of Heroes. Yeah, we got to come up with a name for our group. Everybody's going to have to... Oh, there's Harlow. Did Harlow get kicked?
Oh, you still there, honey? We can't hear you. If your thing looks like it's frozen up.
She could do the quick reconnect. I could see her a minute ago. Her camera was working and everything.
Yeah.
There's a little in the upper right-hand corner of your video window on the screen there. There's a little. If you put your cursor over the upper right-hand corner of it, there's a quick reconnect. Little 2 arrows in a circle. Just click on that if you can hear me. I don't even think she can hear me.
Hold on, let me... Hey, Harlow. No, she's bounced. Oh, wait. Something just happened. And here she comes.
You there? No, something's messed up. I could see. Oh, the microphone just went away. The line was stuck there, like stuck on.
Yeah.
Either like it was making constant noise or that it froze up. I suspect it froze up. Everything okay?
Yeah, my laptop died literally as I plugged it in.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll tuck Harlow in in her guinea pig form in my ammo bag, and then we'll head off.
Looks like he's
I think
reconnected.
Steve is reloading.
Oh, can you guys not hear me? Oh shit.
There he is.
There. Everybody hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So,
So you tell me how you're traveling.
ugh, that's a long way.
Yeah. I would think we would stay through on the main roads, right? Same
Yeah.
as before.
What's the location of this god? The god catcher statue? Do
You
we
know where it is. I mean, you've seen it many times. I will point on the map.
Is it this one?
I just centered it, and then if you
Oh.
pin it, bring it closer, it should come right up to the middle of your screen. Right above the market.
Okay, I see Blackwell's Fine Books and Tomes.
Right.
Did I not? Hold on a second.
And I see the Lankmore Theater. There it is. I see it now.
Okay. Oh, wow.
You like Blackwell's Fine Books and Good Tomes?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I saw that. It's so good.
Oh, that's your parents' place. That's cool.
It happens
I
to
think-
be
Oh, so you knew right where this is. So
yeah,
yeah,
I would know exactly where it is. Yeah.
I'll let
So I would
Aldos
be
lead.
familiar with it.
He can lead the way.
Okay. So I would probably recommend once we get back out onto the high road, the main road closest to Weird Bottles, I would probably recommend taking the high road west through Waterdeep Way and then up north the Street of Skills.
So because of so that's good. That's
Yeah.
So what you end up getting a little further north. You cross over Soothsayer's Way actually because you had to go a little out of your way. You end up in front of the stately and grand Castle Waterdeep. Just because the snow was just forced you to go this way. As you passed by, you noticed a black-robed magister and a dozen watchmen heading up the main rampart. As you cross Waterdeep Way, you notice a man carrying scroll tubes heading west. So you do see more people starting to populate the streets. Nothing can keep these Waterdeepians down for long. It did take a little while this morning to clear some of this snow, but continuing, but just by force of again, because the snow drifts in certain areas are such, you had to go up the Street of Swords. You pass by an enormous tavern that says Elfstone on it. Then you smell a delicious smell of freshly baked bread, which signifies the Master Baker's Hall that you're familiar in this part of town. Quickly followed by beautiful music coming from a store that you can't quite make out the sign as you walk by. You spy what you think you see on the front of this one building. The head of a hawk or eagle is leaning forward in an awkward angle as you walk on. Moving on, you pass the mysterious crawling spider, a tavern said to recreate life in the foreboding Underdark. You've heard of that place. Quickly followed by a store with the impressive title Balthor's Rare and Wondrous Treasures.
Ooh.
A temple dedicated to the elves is supposed to be nearby, but you did not see it.
Balfour.
Everyone roll a passive perception roll.
Okay.
Oh, you can't click on it on your you just got to click on your. Mine says it's a 9. How come you can't roll on it off of your character sheet?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I'm able to, but I think maybe mine's the updated version.
Yeah, like it's there. It's underneath. It's a 9. Do you just want me to roll
Yeah,
d20?
roll. Yeah, roll.
And I'll go ahead and roll. Oh, really
Whoa,
bad.
again, dude.
Is that
It's a
that's
3.
the same thing you rolled the
And it's
last
Yeah,
time?
advantage.
1 and a 2. So he's like, doop de doop de doo.
I think
Well, you-
maybe I'm still in the back of my mind. I'm thinking of Bathsheba. That's kind of like
Oh my God, that's it. It's
distracting
totally
me.
got you. It's totally set you off. You can't keep your mind on anything right now. No, but you did all that stuff I described. You saw all that.
hmm
So you're just like taking in the sights. You're totally enamored with seeing the city again. It's been a while, years, right?
Right.
Oh, years, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
in a
it's
way,
been a few years at least.
studying at the library.
hmm
And
PhDs are hard.
Harlow, I don't think you've been in this part of town ever. So you see really tall buildings. I guess it looks all the same to you. Human inhabitants. What's it matter where they are in the city? Okay, so wait, were you looking something up, dude?
Me? No, I'm good.
Did you roll? What did you roll?
12. My passive wisdom is or my passive perception is a 9.
It's like the third time it's happened. You really didn't think anything of it until now, but am I being followed? You saw like a cloak move behind one building 10 blocks ago. And you're like, oh, it's just someone walking. And then you saw what you thought, was that the same cloak? And then the third time you saw it, not being involved.
How far are we? Where are we at on the map right now?
Somewhere on the Street of the Sword, right?
Let's see here. Well, once you cross over here, let's see here. All right, you just passed. Well, just before the market, you go by this alley that's infamous for the hundreds of cryptic messages scrawled on its walls, and you can see the alley. All these, it looks like a graffiti of sorts, written all different sizes. No one has deciphered all its riddles. Is the as the story goes. So that's like a sight to see if you had time to visit there. But anyway, once you cross over Bazaar Street, the entire area opens up into the enormous market, the single largest area in all of Waterdeep. The place is the size of a large village and is usually packed wall to wall with vendors selling everything from apples to trinkets and talismans and everything in between.
As soon as we get out into the open market, I'm gonna without looking back, I'm gonna pull my cloak back so that I can know that Harlow can hear what I'm saying, and just look at Aldos and say, "Hey, don't turn around, but someone's following us." I had a feeling this wasn't going to be as simple as I had thought. Listen, we're gonna need to figure out a way to either throw this person off or find out who they are. Let's pass through the market, across Trader's Way, cut through an alley, perhaps someplace where we can circle back around. And I'll look as we're coming out the other side of the market, like here, because I don't know if I want to take them right to the customer yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we cut across the street over to here, in this alley here, and then maybe go straight up to see this building right here in the center.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go up, like follow it up to this spot right here, and then quickly cut down the alley going east to here, and then circle back to like this corner here and see if we can see the person that's following us. Does that sound like a plan?
Okay.
Could
Yeah.
Harlow turn into a cat and investigate as a cat?
Oh yeah, yeah, you could do that.
Yo, could you use the drawing tool and mark that path?
Yes.
Like draw the line with an arrow?
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I just won't remember by the time I get
Yeah.
to here.
So
A
we're gonna come out here and go into this alley,
Nice.
and I'll put a little arrow here, and then we're gonna go up and then around this building. The idea is that we're gonna come back to this corner right here,
Nice.
and hopefully see, like, they'll see our tracks in the snow going north, and maybe they won't be, watching for us here. So like once we round that corner, that corner up here, we'll like hot foot it around that building so that we can get back here in an attempt to try and get eyes on whoever it is that might be following us.
Nice.
And then we'll
Maybe-
leave Harlow. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. She had too. What do you got a suggestion as well?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Harlow, as we get to that like corner there before the right turn, maybe Harlow can break off and be the one who checks, so that like we can keep going straight, so that like whoever's following us is still following us.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
maybe. So maybe as like Harlow turns, she shapeshifts and then
She could
comes
shape.
back.
Yes, I could be holding her, and she could change from the guinea pig into the cat, and I'll just like drop her out of my cloak next to like
Right.
a trash can or a pile of snow, and then.
So whoever's following wouldn't be like deterred by seeing a halfling somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to? We'll do that. Do you want to?
If Harlow's up to that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Do you want to? Jimmy, do you want to, or DM, you want to clear the drawing? I'll do a new one.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Guess you have to do it a couple times.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh? Wait, do I? Let me try to grab them all. No, there we go. I can get them all. Sorry, I was being stupid. Keep being stupid with this interface. So
All right.
weird.
That's okay.
Yeah, nobody's.
Don't ever say that.
You're not being judged. So we'll do that. We'll cut through here, and right around where the second line picks up, I'll drop Harlow, and then we'll duck around this way and kind of. I don't know if do we want to meet up with the client, or do we want to just wait and see what happens?
I would say maybe even just keep going straight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't lead them. We'll do that. We'll take this second road here.
Yeah.
The second alleyway up. So that's.
If Harlow sees anything, because I'm guessing you guys will probably be way past 30 feet, so if Harlow sees anything, she'll just start meowing like really loudly.
Mhm.
All right, roll your perception checks again. Because you're trying to figure out you're trying to catch these guys following you. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Going past. So roll those. Actually, you can roll investigation.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, I'm gonna.
I'm not getting it done.
Can I roll
I'll
investigation?
do my.
Nothing. You lost your thing. Yes.
I'll do investigation as well.
I'll do investigation.
There you go.
Okay, I got 16.
2 16s and
11.
It is all you all notice at the same time. Yep. And it's more than one, maybe 3 individuals darting from alleyway to alleyway. You don't see any features. They're kind of 2 blocks away. You just see cloaked individuals, and the patterns that they're exhibiting are telling you that they are following you.
Oh no. That's not good.
And you see, let's see here, because you're like right next to it. That's what the God Catcher looks like.
Whoa, that's cool.
That's
I wish it was
amazing.
bigger. Actually, here, I'm going to make it bigger.
Man, my parents really know where to have a bookstore.
Yeah, man. For real, Aldous. That's an impressive. It's an impressive piece of architecture.
Yeah.
There, so you can see it bigger. I want you to notice how there's this there's buildings, and you knew this, but it's just you haven't seen it in a while. It's always kind of breathtaking. The building is built on top of and around this statue, and you even see like stairwells built up the arm of this thing. And then, most wondrous of all, always takes your breath away to see magic so blatantly displayed. But the large concrete sphere above his hand is suspended there, apparently magically. And Alvis, you also know that the owner of the tenement lives in that sphere, apparently. Well, she still does. It's been years since you've been paying attention, but last you knew.
Okay.
So that's kind of it's a big. This thing is, you're not sure, 80 feet tall. It's really impressive when you see it. And even you, Don, you haven't been in this part of the town in a while. You haven't really seen this, what they refer to as the walking statues. And Harlow, you've never seen anything like it in your life. A 80-foot statue. You thought it was a giant at first, and then you notice it's not moving. It's a statue. Why is there a house built on top of it? You're like, oh my God, humans are so weird.
If she's a cat, can she like go up and smell it and then just run away?
Well, you're like a couple blocks away. If you know where the star is where that where it's marked on the map. So you're like, well, at least a block away,
Cool.
or down the street here. But yes, you could run up to it right now if you wanted to.
Cool. So I'm gonna run up to it, smell it, realize it's not real, then run away.
Okay. And you're crunching through the snow. It's actually what you were feeling so enthusiastic about it at first, and then you realize, halfway there, you're like, you got to like jump to get through the snow and parts. But you do. You walk up, you give it a sniff. It smells like, what do you smell in particular? The concrete hand?
Yeah. At least I'm assuming I'm a cat at this point, so I'm kind of just smelling like.
Oh, I didn't catch
a
the
hand.
part where you turned into a cat. Did you turn into a cat?
Yeah, she was a
Yeah.
cat when she like did a
Oh, I missed
turned
it.
around. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. So you
It's
do
okay.
that. You break through the snow in parts, and then comically jump out of the snow, and you accomplish your task of smelling the statue.
Cool.
Bumped off. Oh, there she is again. All right, so you do see a carriage sitting around the base of the Godcatcher. Maybe we ought to leave it there, actually. It's 10 after 10, and what we endeavor now could be potentially engaging. So let's call it a night, end the recording, and we can stay on in meta and stuff like that for a little bit, drink a beer. But I don't want to get into something that we can't. It'll be too clunky if we try to resolve. Depends on what you do, though. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Great night. Love it.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Hell yeah. I think we're set up for the 20th. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
but Mom had plans for the 20th.
What do you mean?
Remember, since my birthday's Monday, Mom possibly wanted to go to casino with us
Well,
and Joe.
she didn't make the plan yet, but yeah. Let me see.
Casino.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. And we're getting our second COVID vaccine that day.
Oh,
And I work.
so it's a big day.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that day.
When do you work till?
6.
Oh. Well, that's fine. You'll have to pop in. Well, we usually get on at 5 and start around 6 anyway, so that's fine. We'll make it 6. We'll make the start time 6 since you're working till 6.
You think does that work for you, Aldous?
Yeah, it should work. I don't have anything planned from what I know.
All right. Well, it's been fun. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks for joining me, folks. I had a good time.
Yeah,
Sorry we
it
didn't get
was
more
great.
done. I think I drug our heels for a little bit, but I enjoyed it.
That was good.
Trying to get you to interact with these NPCs, so it's
Oh my
important.
gosh, yeah. Hey, I got money today. Well, I guess we all did, but but I got money without doing
There's
anything.
a lot more where that came from.
No, you did plenty.
Yeah.
And what's happening, I believe, is Donovan sees the potential and he's like, nah, I do need this guy in my crew. This guy's got something going on.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the way you look, the way you're carrying yourself, the story
I think
about
like
your
Donovan
parents,
and I,
story.
yeah, I feel like Donovan and I both have like an industrious sort of nature, you know,
Yeah.
that probably we like recognize in each other.
Indeed.
Putting together a group.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Can't wait. Next session. Fun
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
times.
a beer. If you want to hang out and have a beer, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm gonna hang out. I'll finish this whiskey. So, all right,
I'm way ahead of
kids.
you.
Have a good night.
Who are you saying goodnight to? Did you already hang up the thing?
No, I'm hanging it up now. I'm making it. I'm making it
I
like.
was talking off the record.
No, I'm making it now. You're on the record. So, all right. I'm stopping it now.
You still didn't stop it. Don't
I
say
didn't.
anything
It's
weird.
it's still going. All right.